Welcome and hello and welcome, guys. Welcome and hello and welcome. By Sofi, Nafafepo. Don't sue me, bro. That's our theme here today. Don't sue Danny. That's a good theme for a Tuesday. I like to get my lawsuits on a Friday so I can have the weekend to sort of digest them, formulate a game plan with counsel. Anyway, guys, it is un poco mas, the show where we give you just a little bit more. Thank you for tuning in on your valuable time. I know you guys are working away, and your boss really thinks you're on that project, thinks you're producing some TPS reports or something. But you got your AirPods in, you're kicking it with cornbread. You're dealing with Danny. Or anyway, we have a number of platitudes we could use, but suffice it to say, guys, welcome and hello and welcome and hello and welcome. And let me add, just for good measure, welcome and hello. Thank you. It's un poco mas. They do call me Little Danny Cornbread DiCarlo because I am moist, I am doughy, and I crumble under pressure. Let's dispense with the rest of the nicknames. I know you're busy, you have things to do, and I do as well. Tons of big dog work to get done before the year end. Anyway, guys, let me share my screen with you. I have thoughts on SoFi, believe it or not. Shocker. Um, I believe the price fixers have completely lost this battle. And when you bring in somebody like the Bald Prophet to try to throw out a number like $20, that just doesn't make any sense in terms of the technicals. That number has no significance on the chart. You're not going to make a market there. Nobody's going to sell you their shares at 20. This company growing at over 30%. And there's a good article out on, so I view it as a bearish article, even though it's a hold. It's by Ahan Vashi. I'm probably mispronouncing his name, but he's a smart guy. I read his articles. And he's basically saying, his DCF model, his assumptions put a fair value on SoFi of like $30.50, and he has it around a little under $50 in 5 years. So the CAGR in terms of an investment will be, just over 12%, which is below his threshold of 15%. I think his assumptions are flawed in a couple of respects. Number one, he's looking at 25% that they can grow the top line of the current businesses, the lending platform, the personal loans, the student loans, the mortgages, the tech side. All you're not accounting for things they're just bringing out right now, and you're certainly not accounting for the plethora of products that they're going to be bringing out over the next 5 years. They're already talking about small business banking. You're going to have other platforms besides the loan platform. You're going to have products coming in. You're going to have accelerated cross-selling. I think, honestly, even though what he's saying is true, that his 25% CAGR estimate is far above, other analysts, because other analysts are sitting at 16%, 15%. Just doesn't make any sense. I mean, I think people were calling last ER a game changer. This is one of those companies where every ER you could call it a game changer, but it's just so expected that they're going to knock the ball out of the park. Now, if you actually look at what's going on with this chart, guys, please get past some of this fake volatility. I tell you a million times, why do they bang a stock off the same low over and over and over again? It's not because they want to sell at that low. It's because they want you to sell at that low. And they can't make any kind of market here. Every single time since September that they pushed down to the 25 area, it goes up like a springboard, at least to, 27, 28. You see it here again. You see it here again. They test 25, back up to 31. They test 20, dips down even below 25. You notice it recovers 25 the same day, all the way down here to 23.50. Crazy volatility that day. Still closes, I don't know, what is that? I can't see. Still closes at over 25 at 25.19, all the way back up to this trend line. So yes, you're making lower highs, but over a little bit longer term, it's very clear you're making higher lows. I think you're in a wedge here. And I think all the empirical evidence, any logic suggests that the move is not going to be to the downside to 20. I think the Bald Prophet is totally out to lunch. And I don't think any retail investor that sees this stock come into the last earnings at 31, bounce up to 32, and then the best they can do to destroy the stock is just bounce it off 25 over and over again, where I believe more retail and institutions are accumulating, and shorts are frankly digging a deeper hole, which they always do with this stock. Shorts and bears have been wrong about this stock from day one. They've been wrong about this stock every step of the way, and they continue to be wrong and underestimate this stock, this company, this management in present day, full stop. This is the fintech. This is the fintech play. And don't tell me about Robinhood with their soul patches and fancy shoes and VO5 oil treatments that they give all their employees for their, long, luscious hair. That's not durable competitive advantage. Payday loans are not durable competitive advantage, even if you have them on Amazon, because they're a shit product from shit borrowers with shit credit and shit jobs. I mean, no offense, to those of us on the lower rungs of society like myself. I'm a bit of a bottom feeder, believe me. Have been my whole life. Nothing like being a chunky bleacher sniffer, I'll tell you. But some of you, tiny wing shoe shine boys out there got it even worse than I do. Maybe you're chunky, slow of wit like me, but you're also working with a tiny wing. So you got both hands tied behind your back, and can't even tie your tiny wing behind your back because it's, too small. Anyway, guys, this show is so dumb as usual. But I'm looking at the chart. I see a big move to the upside. All the price action has been over 25. It hasn't made a market anywhere near 25. The closest it's come is right here at about 27. There is no retail. So this, at best, you could call those stop loss trades, and they're not working. They're not landing. And you see what's going on again with the short. The short's creeping back up. They're shorting again today. Another 300,000 shares. Sorry, guys. I got a quick text from a trusted colleague, valued associate. Sorry, guys. I'll be right back with you. So anyway, I forget what the hell I was talking about. I guess SoFi. Short interest has crept back up almost to 10%. Just right after the last earnings, we were down about 8.5%. So that's fairly significant, and that's really how they fix the price. Notice all the volumes, sucked out of the stock around the holidays are doing 70, 80 million. Now you're down to like, 20, 30 million, whatever it is. Institutional ownership and insider ownership really aren't going anywhere. But you see, this was the short day of 14 million. Then this is yesterday, 24 million. Last full day, 26 million. So those are just abysmal volumes because they're just not churning the stock. I mean, retail is still buying, but retail is, impotent to move any price. Delusional people on YouTube, think they're like moving the price of the stock. Holding your wing, if anything. Sorry about that. The great Naughty Lurker has joined us. We missed Naughty Lurker. Yeah, I think they're moving to a tiny wing dividend, and the price went down. Like I noticed this. I didn't know exactly what happened. I've been seeing that on like stock twits. They were down like 4%, and SMCI was flat, which doesn't really make any sense. But yeah, they're kicking that. That kind of worries me with SMCX because I am holding quite a bit of it. I might just jump out and switch back to shares. Start selling some cover calls. Just kind of, there's so much volatility. I don't really want my, shares to get called away because I think the stock's going to run on the next ER. So I expect to move up into earnings for Neo. Their CEO just came out and gave huge guidance for Q4 sales, like 56% quarter-on-quarter increase in sales. Just crazy. And then SMCI, I mean, I was reading Zacks and different sources. I mean, analysts are expecting 10 billion in sales this quarter. I don't know when that happened. When did that go from like 7.5, 8 to 10? So I feel like they're setting them up where they're going to go, hey, we sold 11 billion, and analysts are going to go, oh, that's crap. Coming from 5 to 11 or something. Like we were expecting 12. The tiny wing syndicate of analysts. Oh, you know how it goes, guys. Yeah, I mean, those the leverage funds that pay those larger dividends, those I tend to stay away from those. Hold on one sec, guys. I gotta take this. Hey guys, sorry about that. I got so much work going on, bunch of stuff I'm trying to finish for year end. Let's see. Um, no, don't hit like, clap my dog. UMAC today. Anyone have an opinion? I don't know. I don't know that one, Billy Jack. I mean, I know the symbol, but I don't know anything about it. ES8 is absolutely crushing it. I mean, the thing about the guidance with Neo is they're going to have that massive increase in sales with also a massive increase in margins. I mean, to have that increase in sales while selling, those higher margin vehicles is really extraordinary. I think people vastly underestimate Neo. Now, CATL is building battery swaps in record numbers. They're going to be releasing sodium batteries. All I can hope is that CATL and Neo actually are working together on swap. Because if they're not, CATL is going to, crush Neo like a bug. I mean, it's just, I'm sorry, but they've got 10 manufacturers on board, 30 cars, heavy trucks. They just raised their estimate from 2,500 swaps by the end of next year to over 3,000 swaps by the end of next year. They were going to do 1,000 this year. They're already 1,200. So they could probably get up to 5,000 swaps by next year. And they're saying 30,000 swaps by 2030 with a franchise model. So shuck my oyster. I don't really like, Neo's chances of competing with CATL if the goal is to just build as many swaps as possible. And also they're talking about, the air-cooled batteries that CATL uses are, prone to fires and malfunctions and stuff. Well, I guess that's not a problem with the sodium technology. So we might be fucked right in the goat ass despite the, short and midterm rosy cheeks outlook on these sales numbers with the ES8. But I think CATL honestly sees a tremendous amount of value in Neo, not just the power, but having this model of these cutting edge, amazing vehicles using their batteries. They're just solidifying their battery supply relationship even more than ever. But this wasn't supposed to be a Neo video. I digress. I digress. Um. Anyway, guys, let's see who else is here. The great Scott 2412, the great Raider fan, the great Oakland Raiders. Oh my god. Another absolute shit year for the Raiders. What do you know? Premium the option is here. Stockman Mark is here. All the players are here. It's like the usual suspects, Fenster, McManus, Amphibia. What'd you say? Amphibia for real. It's like, we can put you on Queens on the night of the hijacking. He's like, I live in Queens. What do you got? A team of monkeys working on this around the clock? Mr. Premium the option, indeed, SoFi is still SoFly. I just think sellers are exhausted on this one. Yeah, they moved it down, a good 20% off the earnings pop. Good for them. But it doesn't affect the long-term trajectory of the company. It doesn't affect the fact that there's going to be a multitude of when they're talking about CAGR 25%, CAGR 17%. I know I'm a cockeyed fat optimist, but I believe that number could actually be something like 40% or even higher because I believe SoFi is going to introduce all kinds of new products that we can't even conceive yet. It's going to be like the Jetsons. And we bringing out Rosie the robot, Rosie the Riveter, going to compete with Tesla and Xpeng. SoFi is going to be bringing out a flying car to compete with Goldman Sachs Marcus product. But this is just my theory on what's going to happen. This is why all the bald people, all the market makers, they, hire some U-turders with like fake Russian names, and ridiculous beards. They just go on and tell you whatever, go buy back at here's what's going to happen. They want you to sell them your shares right now at 26.80. They're going to tell you to buy back at 20 in 6 months. Meanwhile, they're going to buy all your shares right now. BlackRock, Vanguard, Goldman Sachs, Bank of America, JP Morgan Chase. You notice JP Morgan Chase increased their SoFi share count by 900% last quarter. Why do you think that is? And that was already, after the big move. Where are they seeing 20 on this chart? I just think they're making this stuff up because they want you to sell here. They keep banging it off at 25. That's the best they're going to do. There's no market on this stock at 20. This is here. There's nothing down here on the chart really of significance until 17. I mean, this is just no man's land. I think it's going to fill this gap. Not on your life. Not on your life with everything this company's doing. Why do I say they have so much institutional stability as compared to these other, companies? Like I said, I don't care if you're doing it through Amazon or through Walmart or through whoever. Yeah, a firm's crushing it right now, but look who does well when the shit hits the fan and we get into a recession. People are like, oh, SoFi is going to get... I would bet that SoFi is going to fare better than any of these other guys in Robinhood. They're going to be getting margin calls. They're going to be shaving their soul patches, selling their Lambos at bargain basement prices on AutoBytel or on Carvana. How can Carvana be worth that much? Took our spot in the S&P 500, those bastards. I hate Carvana. Should have bought at 10. But I'm a moron. So, that's how that goes. Who else we got here? Redition account. January guidance changes narrative. For SoFi or for Neo or for who? Yes, sir, at Stockman Mark. What are you guys giving out your number here? What are you selling services? What do you giving everybody into your Patreon? Come on now. You selling a course? You selling a spreadsheet? Give you all my knowledge for free. You should have change coming. Yeah, this is what I'm... Yeah, I agree with you. 26, 24, 26. Okay, I mean, you could have been buying at 20. It'd been very hard to buy under 25. There's no market been made for the stock under 25 really since August. And if you think about the ER going in the last one at 31, I really believe this is going to move up a lot in the next 30 days. Maybe not past 32, but I believe the stock could easily be sitting at 30, 31 just 30 days from now going into the ER. Because I think bears and shorts are getting to be completely afraid of these ERs. And if you look at this trend line, I was noticing this cuts nicely through this price action as well. So this trend line really kind of, I know it's rough and I know it's kind of ebbing and flowing above and below. And you might say, oh, okay, it's going to ebb back below this trend line, maybe off this horizontal line. Okay. But ultimately the stock, the ER is coming right at us. The ER is like here on the chart. So that doesn't give, it's going to break down to 20 ahead of this ER. It's completely asinine. It doesn't make any sense. This is all low volume, churning, price fixing, to bash you over the head with a sledgehammer or bash your tiny wing with a little ball peen hammer, a little ball penis hammer, as we call them down south. Billy Jack will tell you what I mean. No, ball peen hammer. I don't even know what the hell that means. Little hammer with a little ball. Use it to like make armor, suits of armor, or something, little tiny suits of armor. Cover your wing from cannon fodder. Something along those lines. But just use your brain. Given the history of the stock, given the price action you see there, given retail sentiment, given institutional ownership, insider ownership, given the fundamentals, given the technicals, is this breaking down to 20 or is this moving back up above 30? I'm willing to bet, my hard-earned money that it's moving up past 30. I mean, you got to do you. Nafa Feppo, guys. Don't sue me, bro. Not financial advice for entertainment purposes only. Nafa Feppo. Nafa Feppo. Read the hat, guys. Read the hat. Nafa Feppo. This hat, my lawyer told me, this hat is like a cloak of you can't sue me. I'm sorry, I'm immune to all lawsuits. Nafa Feppo. You lost your money? Nafa Feppo. Not my problem. Don't listen to fat idiots online. Think for yourself. But that won't work either because you're also an idiot. So just get off YouTube, buy an index fund, watch Strongman shoot a camera up his nose and make horrible jokes that he laughs at like a jackal. Dude, that wasn't funny. It wasn't even a joke. You're like just looking out your car window, pretending to drive around the block, just laughing like a jackal. I don't know. Yeah, buy at 27.50. You can buy right now at 26.78. So I don't know why you buy at 20. And that's the other thing is a lot of these sort of, institutional types, the bald intelligentsia, the, charitable trust set, the poopy Kmart pants, always wear brown pants from Kmart because you poop your pants every day. Just got that look about you like you're just a one giant liver spot. You're in love with Anthony Noto. You're crying about him, but you're like, I want to buy. Start buying at 23. Really take a nice position at 20. This is one of my huge pet peeves with people who just make pronouncements. Like they're just making declarative statements. Just buy at 20. It's at 27 right now. Just buy at 20. Yeah. Why not? I'm gonna buy Google again at 150. It was just there. I'm gonna buy Tesla again at 200. But it has to go there. Somebody has to sell you those shares. Nobody's been willing to sell any shares of this stock since the ER. If you really look at this chart, nobody's been willing to sell any shares of the stock under 27, under this level. A few shares down here, but this is just more of a circle jerk. This is the algo pushing down, playing a spirited game of pocket pool. You guys remember the middle infield double play combination, 1980s Oakland A's, Glenn Hubbard and Mike Gallegos? Am I remembering that wrong? Did Glenn Hubbard, was he on the A's? I know the gag man was there. You got any Mike Gallegos fans in the audience? I don't know why. I just loved Mike Gallegos when I was a kid. I think I liked saying his name. Gagman, like when I was playing like wiffle ball. Gagman. Plus he was short. Get down on your level as like a 6-year-old. I was such a giant 6-year-old. It's probably bigger than the Gagman. Neil Weston buying at 24. You're either buying or you're crying, Neil. That's still a pretty big move down. That's still that's still 10% off these levels. You got to get, another 260 to get 24. I'm not saying it can't happen. It can definitely happen if the economy and the market just takes a shit. SoFi is certainly not a big enough or powerful enough company to stand up to, basically buck the market. But I think they have new products up their sleeve. I think business banking alone is a big deal because I think that's going to be, it's going to go a long way to making SoFi that sort of fulfilling that promise as the one-stop shop. I think the chart looks really good. I don't think there's any downside whatsoever from 25. And I think, retail, a little retail birdie told me there's no downside from here. Because if you look at any selling below here, it's been these deep V, it's like wearing a V-neck sweater. It's a deep V pushed down. It's not a scoop neck. It's not a scoop neck. You're stretching it. You're stretching it. You have a giant head. Nobody wants to loan you a sweater. Nobody can loan me a sweater because I'm too fat. I'm having weight loss issues. I got to get like a New Year's resolution. Like I said, I'm moving Not a Lurker in. And then we're going to road bike about 100 miles a day. Do you imagine the chafing? Not a Lurker's workout regimen. Oh my God. My inner thighs would look like the hinges of hell. Redder than an Irishman's nutsack. I tell you. Oh yeah, Jose Canseco. Jose Canseco, the 40-40 man. Tons of steroids. Mark McGuire. Ricky Henderson. Ricky Reddy. Oh yeah. Love me smoking days. Believe me. Ron Hassey. I'm a huge Ron Hassey fan. Yeah, man, I am. Glad you noticed Premium the Option. I've been working out, man. Really hitting the juice. Oh, man. I used to be so strong and so cool. And I was never cool, but I was really, really strong. Now I'm just fat. Super weak. Turbo Fireman 5698, the Flying Squirrel. Sammy Dosa. That's funny. Let's go. Isn't that juice? Hey guys, what's up? It's great. It's great. Not a Lurker, I think, on the text line. Oh, we got him on the ladies line. Filtered tap water. I don't have any. Got like one drop. Let's see who else is here. What? Oh my God, I got a dentist appointment. Holy hell. Anyway, yeah, the great Not a Lurker's here, the great Scott's here, great Raider fan. It's great Raider fan. It's the best. Let's see. Anyway, guys, I don't really know what I was talking about as far as SoFi, but I know stuff about things, about people. I have a tremendous amount of training and experience. Talking about trying to measure a tiny wing under a bunch of layers of fat, rigging an apparatus, the Army Corps of Engineers in order to do that. Measure from the base, God damn it. Measure from the base. I won't be cheated again. I'm not. Why am I such a huge Richard Nixon fan too? It's kind of weird because I'm not super conservative. I'm not like really one way or the other big on politics. That's why the current politics just drives me crazy. I'm like, I guess because everyone hates the other side. I'm supposed to just hate everybody because I'm not really taking a side. All I want to see is the government actually do their damn job, makes people's lives better, get things in order, tackle this damn debt and deficit, making money so expensive. If you really start talking to some people, there's a lot going on with inflation, the price of money, and how that all ties into inflation as well, and how the debt drives a lot of that. But I'm not going to try to go down some Ron Paul gold standard rabbit hole. Rand Paul did a revolutionary hair transplant. I know he's a physician, but they took pubic hairs, and I heard some really stupid stuff because a lot of MAGA people, they hate Rand Paul Rand Paul because he like mildly criticized Trump or something. So I don't know. He's super conservative though, ultra conservative, libertarian, very libertarian in the model of his father. We're not going back to the gold standard though. There's not enough damn gold. It doesn't make any sense at this point, but I don't know if the gold standard really ever made any sense. I mean, I guess gold has always been a medium of exchange ever since they, found it. But I don't know. Modern currencies are really not, based on these like, gems or something. Just based on the authority of the government, your faith in the government, your faith in people. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Anyway, Scott, hello and welcome. The great Carl Seamark, the Magic King of Chicago, Turbo Fireman. I got to get off this broadcast because it's really going nowhere fast. But Yeah, take a look at SMCX. I'd really love to know what's going on with that one because SMCI flat, SMCX down 4%. I'm told there's a dividend coming. People are speculating it's going to be 40, 50 cents. So just have to see how that goes. But I know a lot of you guys are holding SMCX. You had it as a leverage play, which it's kind of designed to be, not as a dividend play. So they kind of, I don't know. I don't know if it's a switcheroo. I don't know if it's bait and switch. I don't know what it is, but that's kind of what these leverage guys like to do is take your own money, give it back to you, deteriorate the net asset value and pretend like they're doing you a favor. So kind of makes things look good. It keeps people coming in. You see these big dividend payouts, but if you actually go back and look at the overall return, most of them are in the negative, even the ones that are paying these big dividends because they're just paying you back, your own principal basically. So yeah, Carl Seamark, he's basically on the barter system. It's grass, gas, or ass. Nobody rides for free. The Carl Seamark vehicle. And if you get in a Carl Seamark conversion van, forget about it. You got plush shag carpeting back there. Shag and wagon. Chicks dig it. He's able to trade the van straight up for this moped. Oh, Dumb and Dumber. Highly underrated. Highly, highly underrated. One of the greatest movies ever. In my opinion. I'm a huge Dumb and Dumber fan, but I'm a huge dummy. So what are you gonna do? $20, $20, $20 the hard way, right? Mrs. Smales. Sofi is so fine indeed. Nosto Plus, H7X. Premium the option, Nosto Plus, Carl Seamark, Scott, the great Nauta Lurker, the great tennis champ. Tennis champ's got Wimbledon. He's got those real short white shorts. So if you're lucky and he lunges just right, you can see a turtle head pop out. Something for the ladies. Anyway, I don't know who the hell else was here. I don't really care. The great Neil Weston. He's a buyer at 24. He's a buyer at 26, buyer at 27. Erudition. Why do I have such a problem with that word? Erudition. Erudite. I don't know what the hell it means. Probably because I'm a big idiot. Clap My Dog was here. Premium option, of course. Stockman Mark. Great Stockman Mark. Great Nauta Lurker. Great J Money was here. Who else was here? Billy Jack, the great Billy Jack and the Butt Crack Boys. I'll be performing every Tuesday night. Holiday Inn. It's called the Rumpus Room. Billy Jack and the Butt Crack Boys. I don't know. Looks like that's about everybody who was here. I don't know why I like to say hi to everybody. Hoodie Emblem. Low Country Luton Pond was here. The great Low Country Luton Pond. Catching us live for once. Saving lives, catching us live. Man runs a pawn shop. Get you some money. We'll also, take your tonsils out. Give you clear up them arteries. Whatever you need. Man's a Dr. Pawnbroker, I believe. I don't know if I remember that right, but I think so. M. Russo 215, the great M. Russo is here. The counter sounds like you could use a warm apple pie. Believe me, M. Russo. Any port in a storm, any hole for a wiener, as they say. The great Oleg Alexandra, third leg Oleg. How you doing? How's it hanging? I know how it's hanging. Heavy. Happy New Year. Greetings from Ireland. What's up, Oleg? Hope you're doing well. Not a lurker. Frank the Tank 85 was here with his tiny wang or average wang or huge wang. I don't really know. I don't want to know. I don't do that level of in-depth research on my audience. All I know is YouTube analytics suggest I have a tiny, tiny wing audience. I'm not one to argue with Sergey and Bryn. Oh, who else was here? Flint Creek Soap Company, the great Flint Creek Soap Company, 7686. Guys, if you know how to use the Google you some Flint Creek Soap Company and go buy you something that smells nice. That's how you get the people down on the farmers, T-Bass. What's up, Frank Tank, Emerson? Anyway, guys, that's about everybody. Hope you guys have a great day. I might come back and do another video. I might not. But in any case, I hope you guys have a wonderful, safe New Year. Don't drink and drive. It's so stupid. Don't drink and drive. Take an Uber, guys. Walk. You're probably fat like me. Maybe you're in shape, but walk anyway. Hold hands, probably freeze to death. Can have a rainstorm. So you probably need a car, but take an Uber, take a taxi. Just don't drink and drive. It's really, really stupid. Some poor tennis high school star was killed right up the street from me by a drunk driver just recently. So don't drink and drive. It's really, really stupid. I know you don't think anything's going to happen, but nobody plans to kill somebody else driving a little bit buzzed, but it happens all the time. So don't be stupid, guys. I don't mean to be so preachy, but I've I've known just too many people killed and maimed and by you know, intoxicated drivers. Still a huge problem. People think, oh, it's going down, it's eliminated. Oh, still tons and tons of people killed every year. So don't do it, guys. Have a happy new year. Have an amazing new year, but have a safe, sane new year. Okay? Do that for Danny. Do that for old cornbread. I want to see you guys, safe, sane, not in a jumpsuit after the new year. I want to see you guys prosperous, happy, healthy, all those things I am not, but I aspire to be. Thank you guys for watching Un Poco Mas. It's been the honor of my life entertaining you, and I'll talk to you again soon. Peace. I'm out.